Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hello students, this is your biology teacher here. A healthy body comes from a healthy mind. With that thought, I want all of you to be healthy with a happy heart and a healthy mind, right? So let's move on to we'll continue with the chapter 13, Why Do We Fall Ill? This is part 3 video. Let's continue. So what we have learned in the last class, let's have a quick recap. So we have seen about the causes of diseases. So we have seen the immediate cause and also the contributory cause for a particular disease. We have seen the classification of diseases, where diseases are classified into congenital diseases and acquired diseases. Acquired diseases are further classified into infectious and non-infectious diseases. Yes, we are going to see this quite in detail in this video. So let's see the differences between infectious and non-infectious diseases. What are infectious diseases? How they are caused? They are caused due to the attack of the pathogens, whereas this is caused by the factors other than the pathogens. So it is mainly due to the extrinsic factors, whereas the non-infectious are mainly due to the intrinsic or the internal factors. The infectious diseases can be transmitted from one infected person to another infected person. Non-infectious diseases will not get transmitted from one person to another person. The transmission may be due to direct contact or some medium like air, water and vector medium. Here, this is not transmitted and it is a hereditary disease that is transmitted from one generation to another generation. So, it is called as a hereditary disease. So, the community hygiene can help or can reduce this infectious disease, whereas the community hygiene is have no use or we can say that individual hygiene is more important here in non-infectious disease. Example, cholera, malaria. Example is diabetes and goiter, cancer. There are many other diseases in non-infectious disease. Let's move on with the agents. We already have seen about the agents of the infection, that is virus, bacteria, fungi, protozoan, worms. Okay. So this already we have seen in the last session. So we are going to see in this video in detail about their pictures and their structures. Bacterial diseases. So Staphylococcus aureus is a very common bacteria which is seen in the skin and causes skin infection. Acne, it can cause the such type of diseases in the skin. Vibrio cholerae, it causes the cholera bacteria. Vibrio cholerae causes the cholera. Salmonella typhi causes typhoid. Tuberculosis bacteria causes TB, that is tuberculosis. Anthrax is caused by such type of bacteria. Barry Marshall and Robin Warren were the two scientists who win the Nobel Prize in 2005 for the discovery of a new bacteria called Helicobacter pylori, which is responsible for the formation of gastric ulcers. In olden days, it was thought that the gastric ulcers is due to the improper lifestyle, but later it was identified that it is due to the presence of such bacteria. They discovered that the severity of the disease is due to the presence of such bacteria. These scientists discovered that the intensity of this disease was well cured after giving drugs against this bacteria. Now, we'll look about the protozoan diseases. The first one, Plasmodium, which causes malaria, Leishmania, which causes Kala-Azar, and Trymphosinoma, which causes the sleeping sickness. The round-shaped structures are nothing but the RBCs, the red blood corpuscles, which are infected by these protozoans. This Leishmania protozoan is in the division state, which is being engulfed by the WBC in the blood. Let's look about the worms. Ascaris lumbricoids, also called as a roundworm. They grow in the small intestine, and even they may cause small bowel obstruction in some cases. These worms are the one which causes the elephantiasis or the elephant leg syndrome. Tapeworms, they are the intestinal worms seen in large intestine, which sucks much of the nutrition from the host body. Next, we'll see the structures of the virus, the different types of virus. You can see SARS virus, dengue virus, HIV virus, flu, and the most important, coronavirus, which is the causative agent of this pandemic situation. You can see all are similar in structure. They all spherical in size and shape. Next, we will look about the importance of categorization. Now we have seen that infectious agents are of various categories. Why? What is the need to study this categorization? This categorization is an important factor in the treatment of the disease. This is because the same drug will not work against the different types of microbes. For example, the use of this antibiotic is different with the bacterial and the viral diseases. The bacteria can get cured, but the virus will not. Let's see why. Before that, let me tell you what are antibiotics. Antibiotics are the chemical substances that can kill or stop the growth of the certain kinds of the microbes. Here the microbes are called as the antigens. How does this antibiotics works? They work differently for different categories of microbes. Actually, they will block the biochemical processes or the pathways, and thus they are effective in preventing that disease, curing that disease. Now we'll see the action of antibiotic against bacterial diseases. Most of the bacteria makes the cell wall to protect against themselves. Now, for example, penicillin, it blocks the biochemical pathway that is involved in the synthesis of cell wall. So, as a result, these bacteria cannot synthesize their cell walls, and of course they will die. Since human cells do not have these cell walls, these antibiotics has no harmful effects, so it can be taken by the body. The different antibiotics are used for different species of bacteria. Now here you can see the pictures. So the penicillin is the one which acts against the synthesis of cell wall. Likewise, there are several types of chemical substances. They act against the different site pathway. So DNA synthesis is prevented by ciprofloxacin, levofloxacin, plasma membrane. These pathway will be affected by this polymyxin, lipopeptide. There are different types of chemical substances. Next, we'll see the action of antibiotic against viruses. Viruses are always an exceptional organism because they act as a non-living matter outside a host and as a living organism when it enters a host body. They have only the genetic material, and they do not have the cell organelles or any cell wall like that for them. They utilize the host cell machinery to replicate and to multiply. Thus, the viruses do not use any of their unique biochemical pathways, and so these antibiotics will not work against these diseases. So that's the reason, even if we have a small common cold, taking antibiotics does not reduce the severity of the disease. Next, we will see about the means of spread. There are different way of transmission from an infected person to a healthy person. The first one is the airborne, through air. Through air they are transmitted. So such diseases are called as airborne diseases. Through a sneeze, through a cough, the droplets of the infectious material will be transmitted from the infected to the healthy one. Example of such diseases are common cold, pneumonia and tuberculosis. Let's see about the waterborne diseases. What are waterborne diseases? So the diseases which are transmitted through the dirty or unclean water, such diseases are called as waterborne diseases. Example, cholera, typhoid, amoebic dysentery, amoebiasis. So they are some of the examples for the waterborne diseases. Next is a vector borne. Here vector is nothing but some agents which will carry these disease causing organisms called the pathogens from the infected person to a healthy person. So example, mosquitoes, sandflies, they are the agents which can transmit the microbes from an infected person to a healthy person. So such kind of diseases are called as vector-borne diseases. Example, malaria, dengue. So these are some of the diseases that are transmitted through mosquitoes. So these are the diseases which are transmitted through indirect contact, whereas the contact, this is due to, the others are due to the next is due to the direct contact. Next we'll see about the sexually transmitted diseases. So which is transmitted from an infected person to a normal person only through a sexual contact, by not through any other type of contacts. So example, gonorrhea, syphilis, AIDS.